All right, I've got some stuff I've got to do this evening, so I'm getting the watch list done early today. This is for tomorrow. Remember, Friday the market's closed, so could be pretty dead in the afternoon. Morning trades are going to be important, but for me, morning trades are always important because that's when the money's made. XON, now you're 3 days down in a row after a gap up, so this becomes interesting to me for a bounce play. However, had some news in after hours, so it's actually gapping up. It looks like we should gap up. It's at 44.65 right now. Let's see what today's high was 40. So it's gapping up some. It's up probably like $1.30 ish in after hours. So that for me actually takes some of the oomph out of the bounce play idea. I would prefer it gaps down, but still want to have it on watch because it gapped up a few sessions ago on good news, and now you're getting another gap up. So maybe this one heads higher tomorrow. Only take it with a proper intraday setup. ZIOP, even if it wasn't related to XON, which it does move with XON, I'd probably have this on bounce watch with this 3 days in a row down. Previous resistance around 10. Some folks in chat today traded this down, I think, in the 980s. Let me see what it looked like down there. Yeah, some folks in chat were taking this down in the 980s on one of our methods to enter a potential bounce play. It did get up to 1040. I didn't trade it, but they did well on it. Wasn't my idea, it was some of their ideas. So it's kind of fun to watch the idea exchange. But that was a good idea, and they made some money on it. I do want to have it on bounce watch tomorrow. ZIOP, that one, and XON. DGLY, back to the obscure one. I just want to keep an eye on this one. It hasn't given me a trade in several days. But maybe finding support. I almost feel silly having that on the list, but we might get surprised with news or something, and if I'm ready to trade it, we can get a nice move. OVAS, never got a trade in this one today. It was on bounce watch. Just another day down, okay? You did have a kind of hiccup back here around the $30 area. You're getting down to the 200 days down here, so who knows? But that is a great setup. When you're down from 55 to about $30, great setup to watch for a bounce play. Again, those all take place on an intraday basis, and so I can't give you a trigger price here because I have no idea how it's going to open tomorrow. CLDN, another potential bounce play. It's got some support around 16. It got below 17 today. This one's really beaten up from 28 just a couple weeks ago. So I want to watch this one also for a bounce play. Whoops, VLTC is what I meant to type here. This has a massive volume and went up over $3, ended up closing at 250. A lot of times sellers get a hold of it. Next day, maybe we bounce. So that's one, when you get a pop like that, you have to have that on watch for the next week going forward. I mean, I'll give you an example. GBSN on my watch list last night. If you watch the watch list video, I said, I don't know, I don't want to chase this, but it might give an intraday setup, and so I want to have it on watch because you had this big move. Not a lot of stuff in the way, and look what it did. Look what it did. I mean, it was almost perfect. It opened, gapped up a little bit, opened at 409, went to 412, and sold off. Okay, so I'm not doing anything with it, right? Then it bounces a little bit. I'm not doing anything with it. Then it starts to head up here, and it has my attention, but I still didn't want to do anything with it. Then it got very close to the high of the day. It was holding up. If you look, yesterday's high was just above it. So this is just basically a red to green. I just called this at 412 with a 399 stop. And look at this. It went all the way to 540. Huge percentage gain. Came from just having it on watch even though it was extended. Okay, this isn't something I wanted to chase. But remember, I don't know how these things are going to open the next day. So that one was perfect. And, that's like the third huge percentage gainer we've been on this week. Gene and GBSN a couple days in a row now. So that's why I have these high volume movers on watch the following day. I'm a day trader. If I get the right setup, I can make some money, get back out, and be in cash at night. Be comfortable. All right. So that's why VLTC, a little bit different than GBSN, but that's why that one's going on watch for the next several days because we might get a very nice setup. SanDisk, SNDK. I should have had this on bounce watch today, and I didn't. So. And it met our entry parameters, but I forgot to have it on bounce watch. I had it on bounce watch a couple days ago and forgot about it. Having said that, gave a very nice intraday move today, and then really kind of went sideways. So back up tomorrow. If we get over 65.40, we might make a move back towards today's high and There it is on 15-minute candles. So you kind of have a cup and handle forming here. So I do want to watch SNDK tomorrow. I like it over 65.40, but I don't like to put out a number like that because, for all I know, the market gaps down and it opens at 64, which means that number means nothing. Or the market gaps up and it opens above all of this. So this isn't like a crystal clear catalyst number, but if it opens fairly flat, keep an eye over this range tomorrow. That's SNDK. All right, what else do we have? Lumber Liquidators, got to have that on watch. Had a very nice pop today and really held up pretty well. After this huge pop, it held up pretty well. Closed near, well, sort of near its highs, relatively speaking. Let's keep that one on watch too. CAPN, I've been telling everybody this daily chart's starting to get handsome again. CAPN makes these big moves at times. It's a thinner stock. You had a spike back here to 719. Today's spike was 716. You had a spike right here, 733. So, you got to like it over today's high, but it's a tough trader because it doesn't have a lot of volume, and sometimes let me remove that and put a trend line there. All right, you can kind of see it there. It doesn't really need a lot of volume sometimes. On this day, see this huge green day here? One of our members in chat Ramesh was stalking this and said, "Hey Mike, what about CAPN?" And I looked at it, and on an intraday basis, it was having almost no volume. It was spready, and it was during lunch. So I said, "Well, I see what you're looking at," because it would have been on Bounce Watch that day, by the way. And I think I was in one of my videos, but I said, "I see what you're looking at, but there's just no volume in it spready. I can't do anything with it." And then it proceeded to trigger just like he was looking for and went up about $2. Maybe not quite $2, but anyway, it was a huge mover. So I try to pay attention to this one now. And I do like it. You have catalyst just to the left here, okay? So if you get over today's high, 717, it's kind of, I don't want to say blue skies, but it's definitely got some room to move. Excuse me. And it, moved over 50 cents today on 1 million shares, so it doesn't take much to move that stock. All right, I'm losing my voice here. Real quick, a few more, and then I'll get out of here. AVEO, this thing hit $2 a few weeks ago. Then it put in a lower high, and it's kind of creeping back up, and now you've got some support below. So just keep an eye on this one. It doesn't move very much on any given day. Let's look at it on 30s here. But it's not a bad looking chart. Up over today's high, you get through 155. You might get through that 160, and then maybe, it's off to the races. So it's been really quiet. 1.25 million today, but you do kind of have catalysts above. It seems to have found support. So that's one of those lower price, lower volume ones that I'll have on a chart. I doubt that I'll trade it, but you never know. ZU, this is kind of obscure, and because of that gap there, it's kind of hard to see, but I drew a line here at like its 3-day high, and you had a spike a few days before that up to what was the high there, 1386, and you've got kind of a 3-day high around 1350. Let's go to 60-minute candles. Maybe you can kind of see it better. And the move it made, the move it made back here was really nice. This thing, it ran really fast on that day. So I don't know. I think that might be kind of an obscure play, but maybe over 1350 if volume comes in. That one, it definitely has support below now. So let's keep an eye on ZU. I'm not in love with it. And then RKUS was on watch yesterday. Just goes back on watch today. I still like it over 13 with volume. It's got to get some volume, but it's been pretty resilient the last few days. So let's keep our eyes on RKUS. We'll find some gappers in the morning as well, so that's definitely enough for me to start with. It's actually too much for me to start with, but I will populate some charts with all of these symbols, and we'll see what we can find. We'll see what we can find in the morning. One other thing I want to finish up with, as far as bounce plays, ICON. I got to share this because we had this in chat today. Yesterday in the watch list video, the chart looked like this. I said I really like it down here if it can get to 33. I kind of doubted that it would, but then the market starts selling off right at the open, right? And that really helped. See the SPY just straight down for about 20 minutes? That really helped ICON. I was kind of messing around with some gap plays, and I might have missed this, and I'm just giving a shout out to the room members. A couple guys, Oh, Rick and Matthew both said, hey, ICON from your watch list is getting close to 33. And I love when people have my back like that because sometimes I get sidetracked and I miss some stuff from the regular watch list. And so this was just a beautiful setup. I said I loved it around 33. I actually used 2-minute candles for the call in the room. When it got below 33, I mean, I was really licking my chops. But I called this on a 2-minute buy setup, which was 33.05 right here on this candle, and a low of day stop. 32.88, so very tight. And look at that, it goes all the way up through 34. And I made over $500 just on that trade alone, and I wouldn't have if I didn't see it, and I wouldn't have seen it, even though I had it on my watch list, if it wasn't for a couple guys in chat, kind of reaching out, chat slapping me and say, hey, remember, you called this one around 33, let's wake up. So I love the teamwork in there, and just a shout out to you guys. That winning trade that I got today on this one was because of a couple guys in the chat. So, all right, I'm going to quit babbling. Remember, tomorrow's the last trading day of the week. Should be dead in the afternoon, so try to make your money in the morning. We'll see you tomorrow.